Chosen ones, I advise that you listen carefully and pay close attention to this video. I come to you as a harbinger of truth, tasked with breaking the shackles that have long imprisoned you. I want you to ask yourself the following question. What happens when the very thing they used to bury you becomes your strength? In this video, we uncover the remarkable story of those who rise, despite being pushed down by others, and transform adversity into triumph. This video will dive into how moments of hardship and being underestimated can lead to some of the most beautiful and powerful growth imaginable. The journey starts with the weight of underestimation. Picture a small seed buried beneath layers of heavy soil. This is where the story begins for many of us. In the dark, under pressure, hidden from view. People think they have buried you. They assume you are done, finished, incapable of moving forward. They look at you, and they see nothing more than potential wasted, lost potential they're happy to ignore. There's a sense of satisfaction for some in assuming that you have been rendered powerless. They believe that by covering you in layers of doubt, obstacles, and negativity, they have ensured that you will never rise again. But this isn't just about the feeling of being underestimated. It's also about the silence that follows. It's that quiet moment when people have stopped paying attention, stopped expecting anything from you, where they've walked away, confident that you will never rise again. To them, you're no longer of concern. They move on, leaving you alone, convinced that your story has reached its end. In their minds, the chapter has closed, and there is nothing left to be written. They think that darkness has consumed you, that the weight of the soil is too much for you to bear. But what they fail to see is that this is precisely where the magic begins. In the silence, something powerful starts to happen. Beneath that layer of soil, in the dark, unseen by all, something incredible is beginning to happen. There is a quiet strength forming, a resolve that only comes when you are pushed down to a point where the only direction left is up. It's here, in the soil of disregard, that the true essence of a seed's potential begins to emerge. It's the kind of strength that doesn't need an audience, the kind that grows in solitude, nurtured by the very challenges that were meant to break you. The world might have moved on, but within that forgotten space, a transformation is taking place. Unseen but powerful, unnoticed but unstoppable. The very act of underestimation sets the stage for something extraordinary. It creates the quiet, the dark, the solitude. Conditions where resilience is born, where a spark of something unbreakable begins to flicker to life. The weight of being buried becomes the catalyst for growth. They thought they buried you. They thought it was over. But what they didn't realize is that in burying you, they planted a seed, and a seed, once planted, is destined to grow. What What they don't understand is that beneath that layer of soil, in the dark, unseen by all, something incredible is beginning to happen. There is a quiet strength forming, a resolve that only comes when you are pushed down to a point where the only direction left is up. It's here, in the soil of disregard, that the true essence of a seed's potential begins to emerge. The world might have moved on, but within that forgotten space, a transformation is taking place, unseen but powerful. The very act of underestimation sets the stage for something extraordinary. It creates the quiet, the dark, the solitude, conditions where resilience is born, where a spark of something unbreakable begins to flicker to life. They thought they buried you. They thought it was over. But what they didn't realize is that in burying you, they planted a seed. In the darkness, surrounded by soil, the seed begins to take root. The soil represents the challenges, the adversity, the obstacles that weigh heavy on you. Each clump of earth pressing down is like a burden you've faced, doubts thrown your way, setbacks that seemed insurmountable, harsh words spoken to keep you small. The soil is dense, unyielding, and at times it seems like it might crush you entirely. But here's the beautiful thing about adversity. It's not just an enemy. The soil that weighs you down also nourishes you. It holds the nutrients needed for growth, the essential elements that allow you to change, adapt, and become stronger. Adversity isn't the end. It's the foundation. It's the pressure of challenges that causes the seed to form roots, digging deep, anchoring itself to the earth, preparing for what's to come. The roots grow quietly, pushing through the soil, finding pockets of space, creating a network of support. This is the unseen work, the effort that no one else notices, but that makes all the difference. It's the late nights spent working when no one else is watching, the countless times you've gotten back up after being knocked down, the inner strength built in moments of solitude. It's the resilience forged in silence, in the moments when you could have given up, but chose instead to keep going. Every time the soil pressed down harder, the seed, you, grew stronger. The very weight meant to stop you became the force that shaped your growth. The adversity wasn't there to bury you. It was there to teach you, to mold you, to prepare you for what was to come. And slowly, steadily, roots grew deeper, creating a foundation that could support something incredible. There comes a moment when all the quiet work beneath the surface finally breaks through. It's the sprouting moment, that first tiny shoot pushing up through the soil, breaking into the light. It's a small, almost imperceptible change, but it's monumental. It's proof that despite everything, despite the weight of the world pressing down, life finds a way. For you, this sprouting moment might have been a small victory, something that seemed insignificant to others, but was everything to you. It was the moment you saw the first glimpse of success after countless failures. The time you finally felt the strength to speak up for yourself. The first sign that all the hard work was paying off. It's a fragile moment, vulnerable, but it's also powerful because it represents hope. The sprouting moment is often met with surprise. Those who thought they had buried you suddenly notice something they didn't expect. A sign of life. A sign that you weren't finished after all. It might seem small, but it's unstoppable. That first shoot is a testament to your resilience, to the roots that grew deep in the dark. It's the beginning of a transformation that can no longer be ignored. And just like that, the world begins to change around you. The light that once seemed so far away is now within reach. The warmth of possibility touches you, and you stretch towards it, knowing that this is only the beginning. The sprouting moment is a promise that no matter how deep you are buried, no matter how heavy the soil, you are capable of reaching the light. Breaking through the surface is not a single moment. It's a series of moments, each one more empowering than the last. It's the steady push, the determined climb upwards, the continuous struggle that tests your endurance and character. The soil that once seemed impossible to break through now becomes the very thing that defines your strength. Each inch gained is a testament to your willpower, your refusal to be kept down, and your relentless drive to keep going. Every small breakthrough is significant. Every inch forward a victory that builds upon the last. There are times when breaking through feels impossible. The obstacles are real, and they seem endless, each one more daunting than the last. There are days when the weight of it all seems too much to bear, when the darkness feels like it will never end. But there's something about being underestimated, about being counted out, that lights a fire within. It's the whispers of doubt, the dismissive looks, the constant barrage of negativity that fuel the determination to rise. The desire to prove to yourself, and maybe even to them, that you are capable of more than they ever imagined drives you forward. You keep pushing, even when progress is slow, even when every step feels like a struggle. The struggle becomes your training ground, each setback a lesson, each delay a teacher that strengthens your resolve. And then, one day, you break through. It might not happen in a blaze of glory. It might not be grand or even noticed by those around you. But it happens. You emerge into the light, no longer hidden, no longer beneath the weight of others' expectations. The moment is raw and beautiful, filled with an overwhelming sense of accomplishment and freedom. It's not about revenge or proving them wrong. It's about the sheer joy of knowing that you made it. You didn't stay buried. You grew. You overcame everything that was meant to stop you. You broke free from the darkness, and now, standing in the light, you are ready to grow even further. The light feels different when you fought to reach it. It's warmer, more vibrant, and it fills every part of your being with hope and strength. Breaking through the surface is a declaration. It's saying, I am here, and I am not going anywhere. It's about taking up space, about thriving in the very place they thought you could never survive. The ground above you, once a barrier, is now beneath you. You are not only surviving, you are thriving. You are stretching your arms out wide, taking up space unapologetically, and embracing the fullness of your potential. You have become something that cannot be ignored, something resilient and deeply rooted. You have turned what was once a barrier into a stepping stone, transforming every challenge into a part of your journey that brought you here, to this moment of growth and triumph. There's a beauty in growing quietly, in silence, without the need for recognition. After breaking through the surface, the real growth begins. It's the stage where you establish yourself, growing taller, stronger, and more resilient with each passing day. You learn to withstand the elements, whether it's harsh winds, scorching sun, or unexpected frost. Each day brings new challenges, but with each challenge, you grow more deeply rooted. And yet, it's not about shouting your success from the rooftops. It's about knowing your worth, about allowing your growth to speak for itself. It's about standing tall, even when no one notices, knowing that your strength is not defined by others' acknowledgement, but by your own perseverance and dedication. The people who once underestimated you may still not understand what you've become. They may see the changes, but fail to grasp the depth of your transformation. They might still see only what they want to see, unaware of the countless battles you've fought and won in silence. That's okay. Growth is not about them. It's about you. It's about how far you've come, about the roots you've established, the strength you've cultivated. It's the resilience built in the moments when no one was watching, in the silence of your own determination. It's about the quiet victories, those moments when you chose to keep going despite every reason to give up, when you found strength in solitude and courage in the face of doubt. Growing in silence is powerful. It allows you to focus on what truly matters, on nurturing your own potential, on the steps needed to keep moving forward. It's about dedicating yourself to the process, day after day, without the need for external validation. You do not need applause or validation, because your growth is its own reward. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your tenacity. The people who doubted you may still be watching, confused or even envious. They may wonder how you managed to rise after everything they threw at you. They may not see the countless hours of work, the sacrifices, the strength it took to continue, but that's fine. Their confusion is a sign that your growth is beyond their understanding, but their opinions no longer matter. You grow for yourself, for the joy of becoming the best version of who you are, meant to be. You grow because it fulfills you, because each new leaf, each new branch is a reflection of your inner resilience. In the silence of your growth, there is peace. There is an understanding that the journey was always about finding your own strength, about transforming in your own way, on your own terms. It's about knowing that you are enough, that your journey is valid, and that every inch of progress is a testament to your enduring spirit. It's about embracing the quiet power that comes from knowing who you are and standing firm in that truth. The journey from being buried to blossoming into a force of nature is one marked by resilience, courage, and inner transformation. It's about the quiet growth that happens in the shadows, the steady climb upwards when no one else believes in you. They thought they buried you, but they didn't realize that in doing so, they had planted the seed of something far greater. You broke through, you grew, and now you stand tall, a living testament to the strength that comes from within. Your growth was never about proving them wrong. It was always about proving to yourself that you could thrive, no matter what.